How you doing, everybody? My name is Dr. Sami Baya. Please welcome back to my YouTube channel. INFJ versus Narcissists, the battle of empathy and ego. That's the title of this video. The dynamic between INFJ and Narcissists can be a compelling contrast, as they represent two very different approaches to emotional depth, relationships, and self-perception. Now, let's break down some of the key differences and potential clashes between these two personality types, that is INFJ and Narcissists. Let's look at the core values and motivations. INFJ, often referred to as the advocate, are deeply empathetic, idealistic, and driven by a desire to help others. INFJ are concerned with the welfare of those around them and typically have a strong sense of morality. Their goal is to understand people on a deep level, and they often seek meaning and connection in their relationships. Narcissists, on the other hand, they're associated with traits like grandiosity, a need for admiration, and lack of empathy, and they're highly selfish. Narcissists view relationships primarily as a means to enhance their own image, to validate their worth, and to maintain control over their environment. Narcissists crave admiration and attention but struggle with vulnerability. The other thing is empathy versus self-absorption. INFJ are known for their profound empathy and understanding of others. They often feel the emotions of those around them as if they were their own, and they are driven by a desire to help and support others emotionally. This makes them natural listeners and compassionate partners, friends, and colleagues. Narcissists, on the other hand, have a shallow or self-serving form of empathy, often referred to as cognitive empathy. They can understand how others feel, but may lack the emotional connection or desire to care for those feelings unless it serves their own needs. Their empathy is often superficial and situational, depending on whether it benefits their ego or not. The other issue is the need for validation and control. While INFJ may seek validation, it is typically in the form of acknowledgement for their contributions to others or for their integrity. They often find fulfillment in meaningful relationships, and they are more interested in mutual respect and understanding. However, they can be susceptible to self-doubt if their deep investments in relationships are not reciprocated. Narcissists have a much stronger and more consistent need for validation. They require constant admiration, praise, and attention to maintain their self-worth. If they don't get this external validation, they may feel inferior or worthless. Their sense of entitlement often leads them to try and control situations or people to maintain their status and image. When it comes to relationships, you're talking about depth and superficiality. INFJs thrive in deep, meaningful relationships where they can connect on an emotional, intellectual, and spiritual level. They often go to great lengths to nurture and support the people they care about, often putting others' needs before their own. They value trust and understanding, and they have an intuitive ability to see the good in others. Narcissists, on the other hand, approach relationships more superficially. They may initially appear charming and charismatic, but their relationships often revolve around their own needs. They tend to exploit people for validation and can become manipulative or emotionally distant when their desires are not met. Their inability to truly empathize makes it hard for them to form authentic, long-lasting connections. The other issue is about emotional intensity and vulnerability. INFJ can be deeply sensitive and emotionally intense. They often absorb the emotional energy of others and may feel emotionally drained in toxic environments. However, they are generally introspective and capable of understanding their own emotions, even if they don't always express them outwardly. Narcissists, on the other hand, they lack emotional vulnerability. They may fear being exposed for who they truly are, so they put up walls to protect their fragile self-esteem. Narcissists typically avoid situations where they might feel vulnerable, often resorting to defensiveness or aggression to guard their ego. The other aspect is about empathy versus ego. When INFJs and narcissists interact, especially in relationships, there's often a fundamental clash between the INFJ empathy and the narcissist ego. The INFJ might feel drained by the narcissist's lack of true emotional connection and their manipulative tendencies. INFJs may try to help the narcissist see their flaws or improve their behavior, but the narcissist's resistance to self-reflection and their need for control often lead to frustration and emotional exhaustion for the INFJ. Narcissists may view INFJ as useful sources of validation because INFJs tend to be empathetic and nurturing. However, when the INFJ's emotional needs aren't met or their boundaries are crossed, they may retreat, leaving the narcissist feeling confused or upset, as they thrive on constant attention and admiration. The other issue is about long-term compatibility. INFJ and narcissist. In a long-term relationship, INFJs may struggle to find balance with a narcissist. While the INFJ desires depth, emotional support, and connection, the narcissist is likely to demand constant validation and may not reciprocate the INFJ's emotional needs. The INFJ may eventually become disillusioned with the narcissist's lack of empathy and emotional availability, leading to dissatisfaction, resentment, and potential emotional burnout. The INFJ's growth in such relationships often involves learning to set strong boundaries and recognize their worth, while the narcissist may resist change or the idea of compromising their ego for the sake of the relationship. In conclusion, in the battle between the INFJ's empathy and the narcissist's ego, the INFJ is more likely to prioritize emotional depth and authentic connection, while the narcissist focuses on maintaining their self-image and receiving constant admiration. INFJs, with their profound understanding of others and their empathetic nature, may feel overwhelmed by the narcissist's lack of reciprocity and self-centeredness. The dynamic between these two types can lead to tension, with the INFJ attempting to nurture and connect, while the narcissist focuses primarily on themselves and their need for validation. Ultimately, while INFJs seek growth, depth, and authenticity in relationships, narcissists are typically more focused on self-preservation, validation, and power dynamics. This often leads to an inevitable clash that leaves the INFJ feeling emotionally drained and the narcissist feeling unfulfilled or insecure when their needs are not being met. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you've learned a thing or two. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, like, comment, and share this video widely to all those who may need it. Thank you.